In the summer of 2019, I took a temporary surveying job in a remote part of Nevada. I was between gigs, desperate for money, and thought a few weeks of solitude in the high desert wouldn't hurt. My name's Daniel Cross, 33, geologist, and at the time, not a believer in anything supernatural. My assignment was straightforward: survey and document old mineral extraction sites near the outskirts of the Black Rock Desert. I was alone, camped in a company-provided trailer with solar power, a satellite phone, and just enough water and food for 2 weeks. The nearest town, Gerlach, was 40 miles away. The trailer stood on cracked earth surrounded by endless dunes and jagged red rock. It was beautiful, desolate, and then it changed. On the fourth night, I woke up around 2:45 a.m. No wind, no sound. I stepped outside to pee, and that's when I saw them. Footprints, bare feet, no shoes, no tread. Just human footprints in the sand around my trailer. They circled the unit, wide, deliberate steps. And then I saw it, a handprint, pressed against the outside of the trailer window. 5 fingers, streaked with what looked like rust. No tire tracks, no prints leading in or out. Just the footprints. The desert is silent, but the next night I heard something impossible. Humming. A low, droning hum. At first I thought it was mechanical, maybe a generator, but I shut off mine. The sound grew louder. It didn't echo like it should. It was coming from everywhere and nowhere. Then came the knocking, not on the door, from underneath the trailer. I froze in place, holding my breath. I grabbed the flashlight and scanned outside. Nothing. But the sand was disturbed. A trail of wide drag marks leading toward the dry canyon edge. On day 7, I hiked farther north toward a site marked Extraction Point 17 on the old maps. I never should have. Half buried in the sand was a structure. Not a mine entrance, but what looked like the remains of an old church. Wooden beams, splintered pews, and broken glass, all sunk into the ground like it had been swallowed. I climbed down and found something I still can't explain: paintings. On the walls inside what must have been the chapel basement were faded murals. People with elongated faces kneeling in front of a black pillar. Their eyes were scratched out. All of them. In the center of the room was a stone slab, a shallow human-sized depression carved into it. Stained dark. I left. Fast. The stranger. That night, someone knocked on the trailer door. Not loud. 3 soft, rhythmic taps. I looked through the peephole. Nothing. But when I stepped out with my flashlight, I saw a figure standing far out in the dunes. A man, still, facing me. He didn't move, didn't respond to my shouts, just stood there for over an hour. And then he was gone. Escape. By day 10, I was done. I packed everything, ready to drive out, but my truck wouldn't start. Battery. Dead. I radioed the company, no response. I stayed in the trailer that night, shotgun in hand. At 3:12 a.m., the humming returned. And then, whispers. From the vents, from the floorboards. They didn't sound angry, just insistent, urgent. And then something began scratching from the inside of the walls. I kicked the trailer door open and ran barefoot into the desert. I didn't stop until I reached the old dirt road, where a BLM patrol found me hours later, sunburnt and dehydrated. They found the trailer the next day. It was pristine. No footprints, no drag marks, no handprints, nothing. But my photos, every image I'd taken from the ruins, the chapel, the murals, corrupted, blank static, the old mining records I found, gone. BLM said the location I mentioned had no known structures, just desert. I never went back, but some nights, when everything is still, I hear humming, not from outside, but from the base of my closet, and sometimes 3 soft knocks. In June 2020, I, Ryan Hale, 29, ex-military turned technician, took a solo contract gig to maintain and recalibrate a series of remote weather monitoring stations along the Mojave Desert. It was peak summer. Heat waves so brutal, the air shimmered off the sand. My last station, 44C, set miles off the grid, near an abandoned 1940s gas station. It hadn't been visited in over a year, and the company insisted someone go in person. The drive was long, the terrain harsh. I arrived late afternoon, planning to camp overnight. The station was dead quiet. But the gas station? Something felt wrong, like the air itself avoided it. Inside the gas station's broken front office, I found an old display case still intact. Inside it, a porcelain doll with black glass eyes and a cracked face. Beneath it was a name carved into the wood shelf. Lorraine. I felt chills, unnatural ones, despite the heat. The doll looked directly at me. I swear it did. That night I camped in my truck near the station. Around 2:30 a.m., I woke up gasping, freezing cold. The desert doesn't get that cold in summer. My breath fogged the air. Outside the windshield, a woman in white stood barefoot in the sand, back turned to me. She turned slowly and smiled. I locked the doors, turned on the headlights. Nothing. She was gone. The next day, while repairing the solar transmitter, I found a small locket wedged behind the wiring. Inside, a black and white photo of a woman, same face as the one from last night. Engraved on the back, Lorraine, 1942. That night I didn't sleep, but at 3 a.m. someone knocked on the roof of my truck. 3 taps, then silence. When I finally looked out, the sand around my truck was covered in bare footprints, walking in circles, dozens of times. The next morning I drove into the nearest town, Baker, and asked about the gas station. An old man at the diner went pale when I mentioned it. He said a woman named Lorraine Bishop owned it during the 40s. She was known for her kindness and for disappearing during a freak sandstorm in 1944. They found her truck half buried, but her body was never recovered. Rumor was she had died searching for her missing daughter and now haunts the place, confused, restless, and waiting. I had to return once more to finish the calibration. I arrived just before sunset. The doll in the station was missing. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the truck with the lights off, holding my sidearm. At 3:12 a.m., the passenger side door handle jiggled. I turned. Lorraine was there, face to face, eyes black, skin pale and cracked like sun-scorched clay. She mouthed something I couldn't hear and vanished into dust. I fled, didn't finish the work, quit the job, but something followed me. To this day, I find Mojave Desert sand on my windowsills, inside my boots, even in my Colorado apartment. And every few weeks, someone knocks. 3 slow taps, always at 3:12 a.m.